Clean these bitches off in the. Oh, I came out. There we go. It's hammer time. Okay. Plug y'all in. Yeah, man. I want to talk about these tariffs, man. Yeah. I want to talk about these tariffs real quick. You know, since a lot of people just want to don't want to do their own research and just want to listen to people and cross their fingers and hope that everything works out. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of these cats, man, are wild. Like they literally rather believe in the idea based off of someone's gut feeling rather than go with what the numbers say and what largely is a bipartisan effort to get this shit up out of the way. So yesterday there was a hearing on these tariffs, right? And it didn't go to the Republicans' way. Didn't go their way, Jack. Didn't go their way. I mean, you got Republicans and Democrats speaking out against these tariffs, and coming up with good points. You know, on some good points, some good insight. I know that there's an open session, then there's a closed session. The closed session is, you know, it's not open to the public. You know, we can't hear it, but from listening to whatever that dude's name was that was there answering the questions in that hearing, it seemed like all of this shit is going to be really a trial and error. That's what it seems like. From the White House press secretary to like you know, the trade guy, whoever that dude name was that was getting grilled with all the questions. That's what it seems like. It seems like folks. It's like this. I mean, this is just my opinion, but I could be wrong. You strong arm all these countries, right? You invite them to America. You kind of somewhat backdoor them, like you know, somewhat talk shit about them behind their back on social media. While you're inviting them here, after you invite them here, and it seems like people really think that just because somebody comes here and been at the knee and all this stuff doesn't mean like everything is gonna be freaking hunky dory. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's called showing face, and some of these people are willing to do that shit, but at the end of the day, they ain't gonna keep up with that. And it seems like I'm saying, man, it's like they want to pressure all these countries into buying into our idea of all this tariff business. Probably fuck up their economy doing so. You know, you take jobs from other countries, that's less workers. The same thing that that we crying about over here, it's the same thing they're gonna cry about over there. You know. In my opinion, so I don't think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out because you see how all the big players do. You see, as of I don't know if it really took effect. I don't know if it was a wolf ticket. I don't know if it really took effect, but yesterday we were the American people were told that There's going to be a 104% tariff increase on China. You know, and a lot of businesses in America will be affected by that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these T-shirts, plastic molding for these car parts, body armor, a lot of the material for that comes from China. Whether or not it's Safe Life or Hebeska, whatever the other one starts with an H. A lot of that fabric for the ceramic comes from China. I'm just saying it's not gonna be pretty. A lot of those cheap tools at Harbor Freight. Yeah. A lot of those microwave appliances. A lot of those kitchen appliances, sorry. Going up. They're going up. See, we were doing fine. We were almost getting there, in my opinion. The stock market was rising. The 500, the NASDAQ, and all them were rising year after year. We finally start getting out of this COVID mess, and look where we at. Now the Keystone Pipeline ruptured. Keystone Pipeline ruptured, everybody, and they over there threatening to raise the gas prices. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I know people want to say the price of groceries went down. No, it ain't. It ain't went down. It ain't went down yet. And if I was in another country, I wouldn't want to be importing American beef because it's going to be high. It's going to be high. You got to put the cows on there. You got to put the meat on there. You got to put it on a boat, take it all the way across something, and then we see how sometimes that Australian lamb tastes. It'd be funky. It'd be funky as shit. You know? I don't really know what these people are really thinking. I don't know what they're really thinking, man, but I just don't think a lot of this shit is gonna work, man. Because it's just, to me, in my feeble little mind, I don't see how. Oh, and one of them senators brought up the tariffs against Taiwan. And he even said, it's like, why would you put a tariff on Taiwan, which is supposed to be one of our trade partners? When we already have the CHIPS Act approved to bring semiconductor manufacturing back to America. And then they say, oh, we want to make iPhones back in America again. I can read in between the lines and figure out why is that, because people don't want nobody interfering with the hardware. You know, if that's the case, any phone could be made in America that could run Android OIS and run properly, be made in America with no fun. Yeah. But I'm like I said, this is my 3 cents. I'm just rambling. I just don't see how this shit's gonna work out. You know, we get a lot of our semiconductors from Canada. From Taiwan. You know, why are we fucking with them? Y'all remember when they couldn't ship enough chips for cars to be put out. They couldn't finish the cars because they couldn't get the chips fast enough. Just saying. Just saying, y'all. A lot of this shit don't make no sense to me. It does not. It does not make any sense to me. It'll make sense to somebody out there. It'll make sense to somebody out there, but damn. It makes sense to somebody out there, but it don't make sense to me. Just my 3 cents. You know, it was a good little hearing, man. You can go on C-SPAN, and you guys can watch the replay of it. It's a real good eye opener because it just shows that, you know, people do not really know and don't really know. It's all about a gut intuition that this shit is gonna work. You know, China's not gonna. I don't think China's gonna bow down because China doesn't just trade with America. And I thought we owed them money. You know, thought we owed them money. Yeah. No, we owed them money, Jack. Just saying. I'm another 6 months, man. About the end of the year. How about that? The end of the year. We'll see. We'll see if it works out. We'll see if it won't work out. We'll see if Democrats and Republicans get together and limit the executive government on the powers on tariffs. You know, because the reasoning behind everything can't be this is what American people want. That can't be the reasoning. Oh shit. Okay, cool. That can't keep being the reasoning. You know, that can't be the reason for every question that get answered, every question, you know, they get answered from these guys. You know, that's not, you know what I'm saying? It can't just be this is what the American people want. It also has to be whether or not is this what we need? Because wants and needs is two different things. You know what I'm saying? And with situations like this, you know, you know, you might not have the you know, the people in the crowd is not the experts. You know what I'm saying? They're not really the experts. You know, they're not the experts in all this shit. You know, majority of these people, they voted on feelings. Majority of them voted on feelings and all that shit, and now look at them. You know, but the stock market goes up and down, man. You know, it's not like it's you don't lose money until you pull out anyways. So, you know, you don't lose money until you pull out, and as of right now, you know what I'm saying? But the only thing bad about it is, what if people was relying on that shit? The dividends and all that shit, you know, a month. You know, what if people were 70, 80 years old looking forward to retiring, then all of a sudden they just lost, 2 million, 200,000, 2 million, and so on and so forth. You know, they don't have another 5 years. Yeah, they want to live their life and all that shit, but this shit is madness. Shit is madness, man. It's madness. But this is what why people got to start thinking for themselves. And I'm not saying you got to be no fucking critical thinker, high IQ thinker, or whatever the case may be, but people got to start thinking for themselves instead of letting the news and these social media people fucking make you trick you and making you feel good about voting for a particular person, and next thing you know it, look where you at. Next thing you know it, look where they at. Done. What the fuck going on up there? Is that golf cart really 5,000? Oh shit, it really is. He want 5,500 for a used golf cart. These fuckers, man. These fuckers. What's going on, Sir Foul Player? Would you call yourself Behold? Yeah, I tried to tell you about that. I told you about it. You didn't want to listen to me. You didn't want to listen to me. Told you, L Foul Player. Don't want to listen to me, bro. That's your man's. Talking about the some of the stuff that happened yesterday on all the senators, they held the well, not all of them. They held a hearing on these tariffs. Yeah. And they tried to vote on it, right? They tried to vote on the executive power on tariffs. They only needed one more vote. It's getting close, Jack. People are getting fed up. And these tariffs are the only thing. The hearing on the federal buildings too. They're getting fed up. People are starting to see this shit ain't right. Yeah, man. Behold, man. What do you got to say, man? Give me your 3 cents, bro. Let me hear something. Let me hear what you got to say about this stuff, man. I'm interested. You don't got to be shy. I told you. I told you, homie. Get up in here. They open? Yeah, they look like they open. Yeah. Yeah, they open. Get up in here and get some. Give me 1 second. Let me order this food real quick. Yeah. What up, man? Can I get a medium coffee? Black. And then can I get no sugar? Then can I get 4 scrambled eggs and 4 strips of bacon? And can you put some cheese on the eggs, please? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, man, what you say? Give it time. I eat in the tariff economy. Biden and Kamala makes the opportunity. Nah, dog. You gotta watch that hearing. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, bro. The only way it's gonna work is if everybody bow down, but everybody ain't gonna bow down to the shit. You know, that's not how it works. No, 2022. Well, shit. We didn't have our worst losses. Thanks, bro. We didn't have our worst losses in 2022. We had our worst loss in 2008. Man, that's when we had our worst losses, bro. It was 2008. You know? Yeah. See? I mean, but you could give it some time. Like I said in the video. Let's see how that goes by the end of the year. And see how it goes at the end of the year. And let's see how all this shit unfold. Yeah, we have everything we need in America, but we sitting up over here messing with everybody else. But we need these I don't think it's gonna work, bro. I was looking at somebody out there. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we need to buy from China and other countries because we can't get these goods this cheap. You can't get the goods that cheap. You're not going to get them that cheap then. You're not going to get your some of them Nikes, some of these clothing out here that's made in China. Taiwan, we got to get the semiconductors from them. They make majority of our semiconductors. And the list goes on and on. I don't hear anybody crying about the trade agreement with Israel. And their second largest export to us is precious metals, diamonds and shit like that. I guarantee you, now business will fold. You know what I'm saying? They will fold, and that's just what it is, bro. You might want to go online and look up what we import from China and what some of these businesses actually need to run that come from China, from parts, equipment, textiles, plastic parts, plastic moldings, you name it. Behold, that's not China's fault, and that's not our problem. The problem is that we can't afford to do all that shit, and that's not a way to go about it. To say, oh, we don't sell much to China, they sell everything to us. That's not China's fault. That's not China's fault. No, our economy wasn't. We were doing quite fine. We're doing quite fine. Like I said, the price of gas, the price of gas and groceries had nothing to do with nothing but greed. Nothing but greed. We had a high influx. We were creating. Actually, we were producing more oil than in years past. It's not going to change. It's not going to change all the way around, and it's going to screw a lot of shit up. Because how the fuck are you going to? That's what I'm trying to say. If we get majority of our semiconductors from cars, everything, right, from Taiwan, why are we tariffing them like that? Shouldn't that be open? Shouldn't that be open? Shouldn't that be like an open trade agreement or something like? Shouldn't we be cool with them? If we're receiving 75% of the semi. Oh, hold up, let me get this food. Thank you. Yep. Got these eats. This is how it been, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is like, how the fuck are you gonna bring all this? I mean, well, Biden is the one who signed the chip thingy, right? To bring semiconductor manufacturing back to America, right? Then what did folks do with that? What did folks do? You know what? I could wait right here. Nah, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I was gonna wait, but then what did folks do? They try to brag about it, act like they the ones who did it. Yeah, but that's just how it is, bro. We can't afford. We won't be able to afford a lot of this shit if a lot of these countries weren't making it. They're not doing $15, $20 an hour for minimum wage, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about workman's comp and all that shit and getting people medical and dental probably and all that shit like we do, bro. They don't got to worry about all that shit. Somebody get hurt on the job type shit, you know? They don't have to worry about that shit. They don't have to worry about that shit. You know? That's the crazy part. And so far, when we think about it, as of right now, I could be wrong, but by the end of the year, I've been right about all this shit. I've been right. Told you. And the stock market is still falling. Still falling, big dog. What did he say? He said, yeah, we need cheap overseas goods and shit like that. You know why? That's for it. That's why we need it. It's not cheap in quality or whatever, but the consumers end up paying less for it. If we're already crying about the price of eggs, if people are crying about the price of eggs, make that make sense. So why they wouldn't hold up. Give me 1 second. Good morning. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna get you the other comment. Give me 1 second. Let me get past this damn thing. Yeah, but you know, what do you say? Life isn't affordable anyways. Good time for a reset. Nah, this ain't a reset, dog. This ain't a fucking reset. So the reset is gonna be the burden on this reset is gonna be on the American people, not these companies. Not these companies. You see what I'm saying? These companies at any given day, if the market crash, the government bail them out, but they won't bail you out. You see what I'm saying? It's not time for a reset. And if you're willing to pay extra for goods and stuff like that, that's all on you, bro. But you know, I'm not willing to pay extra because somebody want to play these somebody want to do whatever they feel that they got to do and affect my way of life and everybody else's way of life. There's a better way of going about this. You know, I think there's a better way of going about this, and this way is not going to work, because when these other countries start getting the fucking together and whispering behind closed doors and shit like that and getting together, yep. Yep. China's economy is slowly selling to America. Yeah, they're not solely selling to America. They're not solely selling to America. I mean, if that's what you believe, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Behold, I don't know who told you or where you get that information that China's only selling to America. Where'd you get that information? You know? Where'd you get that information from, bro? I'm interested to know where you got that. It ain't mostly either. They sell to everybody, man. They sell to everybody. And guess what they gonna do? What do you think China's gonna fucking do? You think China's gonna bow down? No, they're probably gonna sit there and be like, no, we're gonna get together, we're gonna hold on, F all that stuff, and we gonna get this shit right. What do you think they gonna do? They probably gonna get together with their citizens and say, hell nah, we ain't bending at the knee with that 104. We gonna deal with this 104 tariff, and the 104 percent tariff is not going to China, it's going to the American people. It's not going to China. That 104% tariff that he was talking about yesterday, it's not going to China, it's going to us. I don't know. You talking about scale wise as far as like the computing speed of these semiconductors? Because if he's talking about that, it's like, I don't know. I don't even know if we have a Snapdragon facility in America. I don't. Yeah, Tyrone, right. But they're trying to bring more back up over here because we can't produce enough. Because everything got a fucking chip in it. The microwave, the fucking stove, the refrigerator. Your car got multiple fucking CPU, got multiple microchips. Everything. Now the glasses got them in there. Smart watches. The electron cigarettes. Everything. Oh, that part? Nah, we can't. No, the fuck we can't. Scales, no. And the price point, no, definitely not the price point because those motherfuckers are getting paid. Taiwan is probably like, they ain't getting $15, $20 an hour. They're not getting no $15, $20 an hour. They getting peanuts. They're getting straight up peanuts. They getting paid peanuts over there. They probably don't have no retirement plan, no no medical and dental. You slip on the job, you just hurt. Workman's comp, you can't sue. You can't join no union and shit like that. And it goes on and on. That's why I be laughing at these cats. You know how much it costs for it's more than $15 for one worker. It's more than 15 bucks. I'm sorry to tell y'all. You know, imagine Intel and AMD. Like if you built the computer, the decent chip you want to buy is going to be like $300. And now imagine if you making those chips over here, man, that's going to be like $600 for a mid gaming system for just for the chip. It's going to be high, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be high, and we don't got the quantity. That's what Tyrone is trying to tell you up there. We don't have the quantity. We can't produce all this shit. We can't. We just can't. We can't produce all those little microwaves, those cheap microwaves, all the cheap blenders, um, all the Instapots and all that shit. Your waffle thingies, some of your kitchen utensils and stuff like that. No, we can't. Yeah, but what chips are they making? That's the thing. What chips are they making? Dude, what you mean a dependable economy? We are a dependable economy. We probably got the best fucking economy in the fucking world. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Tyrone, it takes 10, 15 years to build one here because these cats, because you got the EPA, because you can't be fucking up shit around here, which rightfully so. Then you got all these building inspections. All these other countries, man, man, you put some money in somebody's pocket. What do you say? Yeah, if they could build one in under 2 years, but I don't think I think at most it's gonna be 5 out here. I think they're gonna build that one micro semiconductor factory. I think it's gonna be I think 5 years. But even 2 years, Tyrone, look how far that is down the line. 2 years. Yeah, about time then you out of office. About time then, you see what I'm saying? About time then the damage is done. So and so and so what? Let them fuck up their environment with all that shit. Let them fuck all the environment with all that plastic fucking smoke in the air and all that shit. You see how that air quality look over there in China? Let them fuck they shit up. And then bring them cheap ass goods up over here. Fuck so and damn. Damn, for real? 2 and 1.4 nanometers? I'm gonna have to look that up, Tyrone. Rapidus. I'm gonna have to look that stuff up. Yeah, but how long that's gonna take, Tyrone? 2 years, 5 years? Mm. Yeah, that coffee, yes. That coffee is boo. Yeah, I mean, behold, yeah, that no, I think India got them beat. I think India got them beat because they throw anything in that goddamn water. They throw they dead mama in the water. Global warming is real, and I'm gonna give you an example. All the coral in the Florida Keys are dying because the water is too hot. They're dying. They You can tell when they're dying because the coral be brown or pinkish or something like that. Then they'll turn white. They'll bleach out. They're dying. Global warming is real. I don't know if it's a natural occurrence or it's man-made occurrence is speeding it up. But I'm gonna tell you this one thing. Um, if you look at Egypt, you can't tell me that's how it looked thousands of years ago with all that sand around. You know, you couldn't tell me that 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 Israel looked like that thousand years ago, and um um and the people that you see right now look whiter than the black and white movie. Tyrone said, and they don't take no for an answer. One of their engineers asked me a logistical question, and I was just explaining. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He probably wanted to chop my head off. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you was over there. You was over there. He's like, hey, logistical question, man. I hate when the motherfuckers be asking logistical questions. I I hate sometimes when people do that shit, like especially if they don't work in the field, like if they don't work in the position that I work in, they don't know nothing about it. Then they want you to explain it to them. Then you got to go back. Then a couple of days later, you got to explain it to them again. Then the next month, you got to explain it to them again. And then it's kind of like, it's like over repetitive. Like, why do you keep wanting to know the process when you're not going to remember it? And, 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 and it doesn't really fucking matter to you. Yeah, behold, you should go live, man, so I could jump on your head about all these tariffs, man. I told you, man. I told you, bro. But you still could be right. But we ain't gonna find out until the Oh yeah, Tyrone, I hate that shit. The most common answer is, well, that's how we do it here, or it's a legacy process. Like, yeah, this is how we've been doing it. Yeah, I be telling folks at work about that shit, man. I've been telling them. I was like, don't give me that fucking answer, man. I was like, I was like, at least go look it up to see how to fucking do it. At least figure out how to do it the right way, or try to figure out how to do it the right way before you come to me. Don't come to me with that. Oh, this is how we've been doing it, and then come to find out it's all fucking wrong. No, behold, I even just said, dude. I even just said, let's see how it goes at the end of the year. I could be wrong. What the fuck? You ain't listening, bro. I'm giving my 3 cents. I ain't arguing, man. Tyrone Smith. No, I don't know. Did you hear about the White House not knowing about an advisor who has a 90-day tariff pause for himself? No, I don't know nothing about that. Now, that's a conflict of interest if I ever heard one. Well, shit, Elon Musk is a conflict of interest. What the fuck I know? Now, Elon Musk is a conflict of interest. He's going to get the award for the Cybertrucks to the U.S. Army, but there's no bid. So there's supposed to be a bid, right? And the bid is supposed to make it supposed to be the price competition, so everybody could, the whole public, the whole industry can be involved, so that way it can make everything price competitive. But instead, what happened was, but instead, he's just going to get this thing for these cyber trucks, and then EV is not involved. Ford, they got electric trucks, they're not involved. Nobody else with their within the electric car market is added to this thing, just solely them, at the tune of 500 million. If he really cared, if he got here talking about some, oh, I care about the American people in America and this and that, the third, blah blah blah, we'll do it. We'll give us something for free. You know. But anyways, y'all, I gotta go get this stuff. And shout out to the whole entire world, and everybody stay sucker free.